now to a slight risk or level 2 risk for areas south of I-96. This has switched. It switched at 8 a.m. And this is where we could see a few isolated strong storms later on this evening, but a ton of uncertainty with that. And the reason is, as we see these showers and thunderstorms roll through, it'll be rather challenging to see the atmosphere once again destabilize, I should say, and produce those strong storms. So something to be aware of, but again, this is going to be the main event that we're tracking out here today. Ellen, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, just a few final thoughts. It looks like we have a flood advisory planned for western Van Buren County. We may see more flood advisories issued as the rainfall has been quite substantial for a lot of locations. This has been a big batch of heavy downpours that have just overspread West Michigan and continue to pour south. You can see some of the heaviest totals are moving right into western Van Buren County. That could be one of the reasons why we're expecting to see the flood advisory issued for folks there. That might be something that we have to watch for others as well. So we'll keep you updated if that is the case. I think in addition to that, the only thing that we're seeing is a couple of lightning-related incidents, for example, in Ingham County, potential house fire due to a lightning strike. So even though the wind threat is starting to track down to the south, there still are some things like the wind gusts and like the lightning, like the flooding that we have to keep an eye on as we go throughout the next, I would say, 12 hours here. So that is the setup now. I'm happy to see that most of the showers over us are sub-severe, just producing a lot of heavy rain, which is the next thing that we'll be watching for. But Tom Hillen seeing some impacts travel-wise because of this passing through.
Yeah, a lot of the closures that we're working with right now are in Muskegon County for debris down over the road, whether that be trees or power lines. One of the new ones, both directions of the business route US 31 at Seminole closed because of downed power lines. Just to the east of that, we are also working with the closure of the southbound US 31 at Hoyt, the business route here, again due to downed power lines. And then just north of Muskegon, closer to Lakewood Club, northbound US 31 after Thompson Road, that's been shut down for several hours. That one due to a crash, more so, but we don't know what caused that crash, obviously. And then the update here is just eastbound M46 or Apple Avenue between Moreland and Ravenna Road closed due to down power line. The westbound lanes have been reopened. In the Grand Rapids region, the big issue on the main thoroughfares, especially the eastbound line, the traffic lights are out, causing major delays up and down the eastbound line. So just be aware, those are treated as four-way stops. If you are flying today, we've seen a number of delays as well. Keep in mind, we've got active weather in Detroit and Chicago causing issues. So check before you head to the airport. And again, use caution as you head out the door. Watch for those down trees and power lines and give crews the space that they need to get things cleaned up. Teresa?
We are seeing those downed lines everywhere. David Horak is in Muskegon for us now, which is an area where we have heard so many reports of damage, and we know more than 33,000 homes don't have power this morning. David, what are you seeing where you're at?
Yeah, just in our drive into the Muskegon area, Teresa, we saw plenty of different kinds of damage, from your usual suspects to some that are more unique, but more on that in a second. One report we got is this massive tree that on the opposite side here of Glenside Boulevard, that is in the Glenside neighborhood southwest of downtown Muskegon. That tree right there in the distance and its many branches thankfully did not crash into the house that is on Ridge Avenue between or just off to the west of Glenside Boulevard, and it's just south of Glen. So again, corner of Glen and Glenside is what we were told, and thankfully not only was the house spared of where this tree came from, but also, you know, nobody was hurt, and it's not causing any road closures here. People have been going through and about safely, no problems whatsoever, but not before, of course, we noticed ourselves as we were checking out the damage here, power lines down. So there are plenty of scenes where we saw throughout the Muskegon and Muskegon Heights area where first responders and bucket trucks with Consumers Energy and different power companies are attending to, but this one not yet. But we've noticed a couple of houses in that area, in this neighborhood, they have their power back on. So this is the best case scenario as possible. But as I said earlier, ponding, high water, especially in poor drainage roads, are commonplace. One particular unique unique site of storm damage that we saw coming in is through Muskegon Heights, and on Broadway Avenue, there was a billboard that was about 2 stories tall hugging one of the buildings downtown, and it was hugging right next to it. The winds were so powerful that it knocked down at least 30 degrees. It bent the steel structure that holds that billboard by at least 30 degrees, if not 45 degrees. So it just goes to show, Teresa, how much of a massive punch this storm had, and we're just seeing the beginnings of it. And we were told more storm damage reports up the road here. We'll show you throughout the morning, but we'll send it back to you for now.
All right, David, thank you. And we have been tracking severe storms in West Michigan. Wind gusts have been close to 70 miles per hour. Power is out for more than 120,000 homes in West Michigan. We have video and pictures from many of you who have sent them in, so thank you for doing that if you've had time and been able to safely do it. Trees are down in roads all over the area. Also, the wind knocked out the windows to the downtown Grand Rapids post office. So that was, I know, a serious situation in downtown Grand Rapids that the post office is going to have to deal with this morning. We're just seeing what things looked like as the storm was coming down. And this is a look out as well at some of the trees that have come down. And the hail was mostly pea-sized, but we did get a couple pictures of quarter-size hail that came in, and that we know likely caused a lot of damage to cars and rooftops. So we'll be checking on that throughout the day. This is the tree that caught fire. Rick Ford sent this in from Grand Rapids, and that was when it came down on top of a power line. We heard from Consumers Energy managers that they're trying to tackle this 120,000 outages that they're dealing with this morning, and it's just a massive situation, but they do have a lot of crews already out assessing things, and what they hope is that they'll be able to get power back on for most people by this afternoon. But Brian Wheeler with Consumers Energy mentioned that it might not be until tomorrow morning possibly for many of those customers who don't have power right now. Storm Team 8 also talking about a low chance of more storms later today into this evening, so you'll want to stick with us for that. Thank you for staying with us this morning as we track all of these power outages and damage. We'll continue to check on those. We have crews in Muskegon, and they're looking at some of that damage. Storm Team 8, again, tracking that continued threat of severe weather, so you'll want to keep up to date. Download or update the Storm Team 8 weather app if you haven't done that. And thank you. We'll continue to update you right here on Wood TV 8 as we follow the aftermath of the severe storms this morning.